Man, what's up, man? I'm in the building. It's Rich Real Life, and guess what? We don't gatekeep. I don't gatekeep, so we got a couple of dishes. But I got my boy Picasso in the building.
You know what it is.
You know what I mean?
Man, Chef is one of the only people I know that really do not hold the information. That non-gatekeeping, what he's talking about is real talk. He don't gatekeep. You call him, if he close with you. I done seen how he act when he meets with some new people. He's standoffish. But if you get close, if you get in the circle, you call Chef and say, man, I need this, I need that. Chef, he really teach you how to get rich in real life for real.
It's a fact. A lot of time, only time I hold things up is I would sit there and the whole day I would give you the game. Then you just brush it off later on. I'm like, man.
Yeah, nah.
It's just tiring, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you need a pre-up, like, I done told you some things that helped me elevate.
Right.
And you just like, brush it off. I'm like, all right, cool. So that's why you can't just give to everybody.
100%. I think it's just a respect thing. If you respect what it took for you to get that information and he giving it to you, they going to always come back and pay it back. But people are just energy vampires. They come in and suck from you and take from you, and there's no respect there,
Oh, yeah, that's a fact, man. So, Picasso, man, I'm all about having people how to get rich in real life and people
Right.
that is rich in real life.
Right.
You know what I mean? I consider you one of those people already really rich in real life. I don't know if, I don't know your accounts if you're wealthy yet or on the way to be wealthy. That's a different class, but
Right.
only the real actually knows what that is.
Nah, facts.
You know what I mean? So tell them a little about yourself, man.
Man, I'm an artist, man. I started as an artist, painting. Got real popular with that, and then I just transitioned. I always believe in just keep staying productive and transitioning. So I took the art, then I started doing real estate, then I started doing a whole bunch of other stuff, and now me and Chef is locking in. He's showing me how to really, diversify my portfolio with these government contracts.
Facts, man. Like, one of the things is I started realizing my thing is I'm really trying to get people how to get rich, like how to make that real bag. I was a person that had a lot of ambition, but I never knew what direction to go. I was real, like you could be productive, but don't know where to put the energy at.
Right.
Or you're like, I got ambition, but how do I use it?
Right.
So then you end up being the best guy who washes dishes. Because you ambition, but like you don't have the direction. So let me wash dishes, I need some money.
Right.
And then you become the best dishwasher what you do.
Right.
You the line cook, you the best line cooker what you did.
Right.
But nobody's did it like, yo man, you know what? Put this energy right here and you're gonna go.
Exactly.
Because they don't have no mentorship.
Exactly.
And then a lot of people would use that hustle, like I see it in the street. Man, people who have kingpins, right? Like Escobar, those guys, and Tony, all these guys, they're actually CEOs.
No, for sure. Street CEOs.
Yeah,
That's
street
a real
CEOs.
thing.
So it's like, no matter what you do, no matter what, they were going to be great in whatever they did.
Right.
And they just, got introduced to a hustle, and they became being great. But the things that I know people that right now, they been my homies, and they've been nickel and dime selling drugs, man, since we were in high school. They still nickel and diming, right? So like they got caught, they got nothing to be like, man, you remember when we had the big Rolls Royce and the Jets?
Right.
They're doing time for like nothing, I think. But you got guys that get in the drug game and skyrocket go off. And I remember Diddy had a song which said, what if Money Making Mitch used the same hustle that he used in the streets and he used it in corporate?
Yeah.
He'll go crazy. But a lot of people don't have that corporate knowledge.
It's crazy because, it's funny you say that because the FBI, when they attacking certain crime, they call them crime organizations. You know what I'm saying? Because the head of the crime mob is usually the CEO of the street organized gang, and they run everything. So like you said, if Al Capone and all these big dogs would have put that into real estate or government contracts, they wouldn't have been, locked up for the things they was locked up for.
It's a fact.
But
like, it's not too many people. People are gatekeeping and not telling them the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, and people are like, a lot of cats are just stuck in their ways. You know that. A lot of times you will tell people information. You tell me that all the time, man. Picasso, I tell people the information. I know they ain't gonna do it.
Yeah.
You tell me that all the time.
I give it to them, they ain't gonna do it.
You say, I know they ain't gonna do it. You know what I mean? It become a game. It's like, bro, I'll give it to you. Let's see who's gonna do it. And no one do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it ain't nothing to it, man. But like, I'm big on that. Either we don't gatekeep. And what I realize in life, man, I don't know. Do you feel you know yourself yet?
I think I always say that, man. I think self-improvement is a daily hustle and a daily grind.
But do you think you know who you are?
I feel like I have a good idea, but I don't feel like no one really knows who they are yet.
I think so.
Yeah.
At 30, I believe around 30, 31, I figured who I was.
But did you, okay, so let me ask you a question. you feel like you know who you are, but is there opportunities in a day that you feel like you learn certain things?
Yeah, because I grew, and I became a different person.
Right.
And I have to relearn this person.
Got you. Okay.
You know what I mean? So,
Okay.
but
That
I
makes
know I'm a nice person. I know
Got you.
there's
So
certain
your
things-
values, yeah,
my
yeah,
value.
yeah, yeah.
I man, you've been hearing certain things since you was 10 years old. People
Right.
say, "Oh man, you got a big mouth." Right?
Yeah,
You've been
yeah,
hearing it your whole life.
Yeah, so you know you
Accept that you have a big mouth.
right, true.
Right?
I got that. That's a good
But
point.
it's like people are like, oh man, I don't tripping. Like, no, this is who you are. So when you can find out who you are, I think you better in life because like, man, I know I'm a very nice person. Somebody might get advantage of me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how do I fix that issue? Okay, let me put some bulldogs around me. Let me put some bulldogs around my house so they can protect my energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not fully taken advantage of. I can still use my niceness to take other people to the next level.
Right.
But if I don't accept who I am, we can't get nowhere.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I always say that, man. I always say that identifying is the key, man. You
But
gotta identify who you are.
A lot of people still don't know who they are.
Yeah,
and
facts.
they older and they won't accept who they are. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, look, man, you 40 years old, man.
Yeah.
This is who you are.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And then there'll be people at 25, I'll be like, you don't know who you are yet. It's like, what do you mean I don't know? I'm like, you don't know you yet.
Yeah, you don't know you yet.
You'll do something and you'll react in a certain way. And I'm like, I can't believe I just slapped that chick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you do something you wouldn't believe you would slap a girl. Mm-hmm. And then you just found that out about yourself at age 29.
True.
And that's a bad example, but it's like,
nah,
you're like,
it's
oh,
true
man.
though. It's like, how do I have this irrational emotion? Like, how do I not have control of my emotions yet? Yeah,
And you ain't know that.
Yeah, they know that. Yeah.
But I think as you get older, you start realizing, okay, I know I know I could do this. I know limits I could push, and then you good.
Yeah.
So I think like after as men, how old are you?
I turned 35. I just turned 35.
35, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm an old head. No.
Look, that's why I found this out. My coach, I got a coach. I posted on the gram the other day. I pay my coach about $14.50 a month. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keep me in order. People like, yo, like man,
You gotta pay to play.
I gotta pay to play.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I pay him $14.50 a month, keep me in order. But he's also a lawyer too.
Not to cut you off. I never understood people who have this gripe against paying for mentorship. You go to Harvard front store, you gotta pay for them. That's and you're not even guaranteed no job. You're not guaranteed nothing. They taking $300,000 from you, and you scared to pay somebody that's a professional in their field to teach you how to do exactly that and have a guaranteed success rate, and you don't want to pay that man?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's
you know what I mean?
non-productive.
But it's like
you know what I mean?
But you think the Lakers gonna go out there with no coach?
Come on, man.
You gotta pay for a coach.
You gotta
and
pay.
Depending on what your coach is, the value of your coach is compared how many games you gonna win.
Man, Coca-Cola, one of the biggest companies in the world, man, they still pay for marketing.
Yeah. Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Right?
So you gotta pay. You gotta pay.
Yeah,
People.
gotta.
The first thing I see when I'm talking to somebody or I'm coaching somebody in any type of field, if they afraid to spend money in their field, I'm done. I can't coach you. I can't guide you because I only could tell you what to do. But part of me telling you what to do is you paying for that. The next step, you gotta pay.
Yeah,
you know, you
facts.
gotta pay. You gotta spend money. You can't be cheap if you know.
You got to.
Yeah.
So back to my coach was telling me, we was talking about stuff. We was talking about the Shannon Sharp thing and all that stuff,
yeah,
right?
yeah, it's crazy.
And but he was telling me, and then people was like, oh, why the older guys want younger girls, blah blah. And I started doing some reading. From 35, like 55 men are in their prime.
Okay.
You know yourself. Suppose you figure life out already. You know how to make money. From 30, like a 4-year-old man, he's supposed to know how to make money.
For sure.
Provide. He done went through this stuff. You know what I mean? A 25-year-old guy, he's still trying to.
Yeah.
But now, like, okay, you went
At
through
40,
the hard times.
yeah.
At 35 is the beginning of your prime. And to 55, like, you know what I mean? So between 35 and 55, they said you could date any girl you want. The female's prime is 20, 25. Like, that's their prime.
Yeah.
And then after that, is that it
start
kind of
going down.
go
Yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah,
And
sure.
get less access. I'm not trying to talk bad, but I love women. We love women.
We love women. But it's the facts.
It's the facts of
Yeah,
life.
yeah, it's the facts.
Because I got to work hard to get that yacht.
Yeah.
And they get a DM to go on the yacht.
Yeah.
Right? But so it's difference. But I'm like, okay, but now how it is, you're 35, and this is supposed to be your prime, beginning of your prime years right now. I don't know if you ever thought about that, but it's like you're supposed to figure it out.
Well,
life now.
I am balling, so
Yeah,
I'm
you know
doing what I'm supposed to do, man. So,
Do you ever think you'll fall off?
Falling off? No, I put something on my Instagram today. It said, you didn't fail, you fell. And I feel like that's a big statement I live by. It's like, yeah, falling off is something that happens, but staying fell off is something that you control. So God within God, inshallah, I know God willing, I don't think I will ever fall off because my work ethic and my belief in myself is always going to be like, get back up.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just like perspective. What's falling off? Like, okay, I won't have a yacht or a private jet no more, or a Lamborghini. And I still have a car? Do I still have a house? Like, you know, it depends on who, like, because it's outside perception of what's falling off.
Facts.
As long as you love yourself and you have a loving family and you're healthy, you're successful.
Yeah.
Technically, that's all you really need in America is to be successful. Is a loving family, you healthy, and you got a perception on what you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
All the extra stuff, the Lamborghinis, the Rolls Royce, all that stuff, that's for the people. That's for validation. That's for somebody else to judge. You know what I'm saying? So if you happen to lose that, is that really falling off?
Yeah.
You can still have all that Ferraris, houses, and be terminally ill.
Yeah.
That's falling off to me.
Yeah, that's true. That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
It's somebody pointed out the other day. He said, "Yo, Chef, man, ever since I know you, like, you was never worried about taking care of the house because
Right.
taking care of. You was always worried about how to figure the business. Oh, it was doing bad, doing good. But the house was like normal, and other people had trying to figure out how to take care of their home.
Right.
I'm like, damn, but like, okay. And I really didn't realize my hustle was so that great that like the house is taken care of. The house is like the minimum.
Yeah, the minimum.
I'm not even lying. All right, the house
Yeah.
is good.
And
And what
that's how it
about,
should be.
oh man, am I going to be able to close this new deal? Is it going
Yeah.
to go left? Is it going to go right?
Right.
And I'm worried about, I'm like, damn, was I worried about the wrong things? Because like, the house is good.
The house is good.
But I'm not even worried about the house because the house
Right.
is already in
We
my
take-
worst state.
Right.
The house is good.
The house is always good. Yeah. Even if you just never nothing happens from now, the house is good.
Yeah.
So you successful, bro.
Yeah, of course. I tell everybody, being rich in real life is not really about how much you got in your account. I think it's about freedom.
Yeah.
You can do about 3 vacations a year. You ride a car you want to drive. Somebody say, hey, I really want the C-Class Benz, right? I really want to work Monday through Friday, have weekends off, and take my vacations 3 times a year. That's rich.
That's rich.
The average person can't do that.
Yeah. You know, with social media, man, people seeing these rappers, they seeing these basketball
But the
players.
rappers haven't got it, though.
Yeah, no, you know them personally.
Yeah.
They don't really have it, but that's what people coming up when they influence, because you got this small time frame when you're growing that you influence. So you're looking at all this stuff and you're like, oh, that's rich in real life. So that's why I'm even here to support you, because I love the message that you're trying to put out. It's like how to really be rich in real life, how to do something that's it's non-glamorous. Like a government contract is non-glamorous. It's not like you gonna have chains and popping bottles. It's like you gotta sit down. You gotta be a computer hustler. You gotta be watching these contracts and find where, but this man's gonna teach you how to do it. You know what I mean? He showed me how to do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's a situation where, man, you better follow, man. There's very few times where you have somebody with a genuine heart and a genuine perspective that's trying to really show people how to really do it in the right way.
And it's crazy. Genuine is like, but I think you have to actually know me, because sometimes people take the social media presence like,
Oh yeah, they take you off.
Yeah, like I got like somebody do a little joke like, oh, man, you know your lifestyle give off scammer.
Right.
like, man.
Bro, I get so many calls about you. Every time I get posted about, bro, why you hanging with him, bro? Boo, boo, boo. And I'm like, bro, Chef is cool. And they're like, man, no, he this, he that. Man, they say all this stuff. Man, I got to fight off things daily with Chef. But, that's how I know I'm solid, because I'm like, nobody going to tell me about, I'm around this man all the time. And for me, he a good dude. You know what I mean? So I'm going to always rock with him. I don't care what nobody say. You know what I'm saying?
So I want to get in like things that can hold your value, man. Like you out here in Vegas, man. You been in how long you been in Vegas for?
10 years now.
10 years,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But like
2016.
you're a great networker out here.
Yeah.
How did you able to find your way in the Vegas networking zone?
So with me, like what I always feel like in any demographic, if you went to Houston, Miami, you gotta figure out how that demographic moves, right? So Vegas moves off of it's a payola system. Valet, we pull up, park your car, valet want a tip. You walk in, everybody want tips. You know what I mean? You want your bags brought upstairs, they looking at you for a tip. You order room service, even though the tip is included, they want a tip. So my mindset was like, all right, to move around this city and get everybody to remember me, I got to be the biggest tipper, right? So I would go to restaurants. Hey, can I speak to the GM? Can I speak to the manager? Oh, who are you? My name is Falcon Picasso. I'm an artist. I just want to meet him. I'm new in the city. They come out, I give them $100. For no reason, right? So now next time I come, hey, Picasso, how you doing? Because that's the way Vegas works. It's a very entertainment payola system. You only got to do it once or twice, and they'll just always remember you for doing it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I work. But every city's different. You got to figure out. But with Vegas, that's how I was able to move around. Everywhere I go now, you've been with me free. I go to Carbone, one of the best restaurants in the city. I got my own drink. You know what I mean? Give us a round of Picasso. So you tip.
So you could probably tip $1,000 or $2,000 and get back how much in free returns.
Bro, you'll get back millions of dollars in returns. It's not even about money though. It's about seniority. It's F1. It's crowded. No reservation. You pull up, all of a sudden they made room for you. Mm-hmm. It's about if you got a business meeting, you got clients next to you, they make you look like the boss. They make you look good. They make you look like the king of the city. Yeah, it's about when you're pulling up the car, they park your car, leave you right in front. So when you come out, everybody sees it's your car. So it's like you don't spend money all the time to make money. You spend money for what it does for you and your brand. You know what I mean? So
hell yeah. And then I see living in Vegas is crazy. So like Vegas is a place of fantasy, right? Like we have like women, like men here want women, and and women sometimes want to have a good time.
Right.
But it's like I'll take you on a trip everywhere. Like somehow I realize I don't know if you know how to read people. You know women, you know men.
Right.
And like I would see them just like everybody just flow around, but you have something about you. I don't know if it's a skill or how you able to read a woman so good to know their wants and.
You know what it is? I study women because, like Tupac said, we get our name from our woman, we get our game from a woman. And I just see so many. I seen this post the other day, and it was like, men genuinely don't like women.
I seen that too,
and it's so true.
It is true. I'm like,
if you really break it down, the average man doesn't like his wife. He doesn't want to go home. He want to hang out with the bar with his fellas. He want to go watch the game. The average man does not like his woman. That's why they always say, any marriage coach, they're like, oh, marry your best friend. They always say that because at least you'll marry somebody that you like. You know what I mean? But me in particular, just to answer your question, I like to study women. I actually genuinely love women. Mm-hmm. I love the way they get dressed. Because I understand the psychology behind women. I know women control everything at the end of the day. Uh-huh. I bought my Lamborghini not because I like Lamborghini. Let me tell you something. I've never driven in a Lamborghini until I owned one. Uh-huh. Reason I bought a Lamborghini is because I knew women will like it. Mm. The reason I dress the way I dress is because I know women like it. Women have told me, oh, you look nice, you look cute. Oh, okay, note it, put that on. Oh, that smells good. Got that cologne again. We do things subconsciously for women, and we don't know. But then you hate the woman that you do it. Like, it don't make sense. Yeah. So I just reiterated the game, and I said, hold on. Everybody's doing stuff for women, but we hate women? No, I love women. Mm-hmm. So I just study women, and I talk to them, and I get to know their information. They'll tell you everything about how to be a man, how to be a proper man, what they like, what they don't like. It's like keep your friends close, your enemies closer. Mm-hmm. If the woman is the enemy, right? Life is a bitch, right? Yeah. So let's keep them close. Yeah, it's a fact. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is like, I love women. Every time you see me, there've been times I'll call 6, 7 women, we'll go out and I'll treat them to lunch and dinner and bottles, and I just want to study them. Mm-hmm. I want to see how many guys they in the phone with, how they talk about, girl, this guy hit my phone. Dude. I just want to see how they talk about men. Mm-hmm. I want to see I just want to see everything so I know what not to do.
Hell yeah. So with that being said, like we said, we in different lives, trying to learn my new life, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of times I like to have women around me. I like the women energy around me. I'd rather have 10 women instead of 10 guys in my section, right?
For sure.
But then a woman will be like, oh, you outside, you a girl, like you a whore. Like, and I'm really like, I'm not hiding what I'm doing. Right. I'm showing you everybody what I'm doing. But like, I'm showing, love the women. I'd rather buy women drinks than buy the guys drinks.
Well, that's an insecure woman. You know what I mean? An insecure woman that's trying to control you and manipulate you, she's going to tell you, oh, you're around other female energies, you're a whore. You know what I mean? Yeah. How can you justify that when you wasn't in the room and I haven't even touched these girls? I brought them here, had dinner with them. I went my way, they went their way.
Yeah, it's a fact.
You know what I mean?
And then like me, I'll be posting everything I do. Like I'm not hiding what I do. Right. I'm like the biggest people who be doing whole shit. Motherfuckers don't even post.
They don't even post. They be hiding.
They be hiding. Right. Like I'm big. I tell these women like I try to be transparent. I tell everyone was like, look, man, I just go give them some straight. Cause I always say, I was married twice. Right. There's 2 things that hurts relationships for me long term. Mm-hmm. Money and infidelity. Mm-hmm. So okay, let me hold the money down. You'll never have to worry about bills. Mm-hmm. Right? I'm a hustler. I'm gonna knock that out of the way. So we ain't gonna argue about money. Mm-hmm. And 2, infidelity. Right? So if I get out of the way and tell you like, yo, look, I might have a selfish moment once in a while. Mm-hmm. I don't want to argue about it. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna bring it up no more. I believe that's like you can go your way, you can stay.
Right, it's a choice. You gave her a choice.
I'm giving you a choice. Right. But in their head, they be like, nah, I'm gonna change this man's mind. And then you would argue 6 months later. I'm not arguing about it. I told you what it is. Right. But the shit about it is, I might not even have no other girl. Right. I might not even have a selfish moment. Right. I'm just like, put it down, because I don't argue with women about girls I've never been with before. Can they call me? Why they call you? But however, fast forward on that, I'm telling them I'll never do that. And this is a girl, real nice woman, right? I was dating her. I told her, like, the same, the scoop, a couple years ago, maybe 5 years ago. And, she said, Chef, you too outside. You got too many girls. I can't do this. All right, cool. You know what I mean? I go to my man's house, and she caked up on my homie. He's a big whore.
Right.
He has hoes.
That's how it always
He has hoes.
Right, that's how
when
it
he
always
outside, he don't post nothing like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I'm smiling. Okay. And what's about he got hoes?
You know, with women, they like to believe what they want to believe. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, sometimes you being transparent is your biggest downfall because they want to believe in the fantasy. They want to believe like, okay, my man stays home. He doesn't do these things. He doesn't show them. They don't want a man that's out here doing all the stuff you're doing. So because for them it's a bad look. That's how they look at it.
So what does a woman want? How do we make this work then? Like how can you make it work? Like if a guy like myself, like, all right, cool. How do I have my cake and eat it too and be just peaceful?
You got to find the right woman.
Yeah.
You got from the jump. You know what I mean? From the first date, be like, hey, this is what I'm on. This is what I'm about.
I tell everybody that, and they all be like, okay, cool.
Yeah, but they don't take you serious until it's too late. They don't take you serious. So at the end of the day, it's not really have your cake and eat it too. It's really just this is my lifestyle. Right? This is my style of life. And if you would like to join my style of life, this is what you have to be down. You see our good friend Neo. Yeah. We went out with him and his 3 girls. They got 3 girlfriends. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
everybody's cool.
Everybody's cool. We talking, hanging out. So he left his girlfriends with us to go, so it's the style of life a woman will choose, and at the end of the day, you got to find the right woman. You just haven't ran into the right group of women that's down for 2 or 3 of them to be. They out here though. You just got to find them. You know what I mean? And you just got to be very stubborn with your standards and what you want. I feel like sometimes, be honest with you as your friend, you bend a little bit. Like, oh, maybe I like this girl. You know.
And you got to keep it.
You got to keep it strong. You got to keep your standard the way it is. Yeah.
And that's one of the things I learned about myself was I had to get better at that. Was I never tell somebody what it is right then and there. Like, I may love vegetables, and she making food and she don't cook no vegetables, and I'm like, I'm good with it. You know what I mean? I'm good. It's cool. You know? And I be passive and not tell you instead of saying no, I want vegetables. Yeah, now it's like 5 or 6 things you doing I don't like, and now I'm exploded on you because I never really told you who I was. Exactly. And so I was wrong for that. Exactly. So now from get one, like, no, I'm sorry. Right. If you go cook for me, I need this. Right. I need vegetables on my plate.
Yeah, communication is everything, bro.
And then they respect it, so it's more. And I was telling somebody today, this girl, and we all people have to understand life. I'm a person. I accept life. I accept it. I accept that there's going to be racism. I accept there's double standards. Right. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to move it. I accept that. I can just move how I move in life around it. But men are always going to judge a woman's past, and women's going to judge a man's future.
I like that.
Right? So I can't go to a girl like I used to be the man back in the day. I fell off right now. I'm trying to figure it out.
You say you used to be with
if I used to be the man.
Okay, I used to be the man. I thought you said you used to be with the man.
No.
I'm like, bro. I'm like, bro, come on. I can't play with this one. This analogy is crazy.
I said I used to be the man back in the day.
Right.
Right? I had Lambos, blah, blah. Right. Things fell off, and now I'm at my homeboy's house renting rooms.
Right.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Right.
You think she cares about that?
Nah. Of course she care about that. She don't want to be with you. She don't want you.
Right?
Yeah.
Now a female, she comes and she said, oh, on my single days, I done ran through, had a few trains on me. I did what I think I was single.
Right.
I'm good now.
Oh yeah, we care about that.
We care about that, right?
We care about that.
So now we gonna turn around and be like, I used to be broke back in the day, but I'm up now. Things are good. How the females looking at you?
Oh yeah, it don't matter. She riding with you.
It don't matter.
They always gonna ride the wave.
Yeah. So
if your wave is low, they out.
But do you care what she's doing in her future? If you with her, do you care what she's doing for her future? Do you care she's making more money and stuff like? It's more of like, I care what you did in your past and your single life.
I don't know. I look at it different. For me, if I'm entangling in your life and I'm coming into your life, I believe that my job as a man is to either help you make some money or you make some money with me. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I don't care what you got. You could come to me broke. Like,
exactly. You can come on level 1. Like, you do care about what she did in the past.
I care about your hustle though.
But do you care about her past?
No, I don't care about her past.
But do most men care about that?
Most men do. They do care about that because they simple-minded. I don't care about it because I truly believe and understand that a woman and a man can change at any moment. You know what I'm saying? And you got to respect the person's current. You know, it's like Jay-Z said, he's like, here you are, there you are. You know what I'm saying? Wherever your 2 feet is at is where you at. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
That's your present. You know what I mean? So it's like, present is a gift. I don't care about what you did before me because you could have been misguided. You know, lack of information is a big thing in our community. Without the wrong, like you, before I ran into you, I knew nothing about government contracts. Yeah. You judge me for that? No, you said, all right, Picasso, come on, let me show you. Boom, boom, boom. You put me on. Yeah. So it's like, we can't care about if a girl ran trans. If you see the potential in this woman and you feel like she can be something bigger than what she is, come on, man. That's your job to take her and show her different.
Is it? But then it's like,
if you see the potential.
True. No. So you can ground zero. It's like, I don't care what you did in the past.
Yeah, I don't care.
But then you bring her around the wolves and she shouldn't got flipped around and turned around. But one of the homies and you really liked her, you know, one of the homies like, well, you already knew what type of girl she was.
Well, my thing is this, man. Like in those situations, I'm gonna have a conversation with her. Obviously, we know her past. Her past and her characteristics and her how she moved today is the difference. If it's a different, like perfect example, I done had chicks who was flipped around, going crazy, right? Come around me, they'll see the same dudes that flip them around, head down, in pocket. Yeah. Not say one word, you know what I'm saying? And they'll look at me like, bro, she used to be, I'm like, yeah, she with me now though. Yeah. You know what I mean? So what she used to be, it don't matter. You know what I mean? Today, this is how she act today.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So at the end of the day, man, you know, you could always, you know, right now, you was in the military. I'm the way I am right now, but I guarantee if I go to the military and come back, I'm gonna be a different person. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's a fact.
Because you got that training and you got that environment and you got that type of values put onto you.
So do you not see it like a drug, like a girl used to be a certain way, she changed? Do you see it like she could relapse while she with you? Because that's who she was.
Nah, because I really believe, okay, I read this book. It's called Atomic Habits, right? And I truly after reading that book, I believe any habit you have, good or bad, can be changed, right? It's all about mindset. So my thing is this, if you sit down with this woman and you indoctrinate her and you get her mind and understand that, hey, queen, this is what we on now. And she buys into that new system and everything you're trying to do and everything's positive. And she starts showing new habits of following the new system and the new plan that y'all have. No, she ain't gonna relapse because there's no reason. She found happiness in her new habits. Reason why people relapse in any drug, if you alcohol, the reason why you jump back in the bottle is because you haven't replaced that habit with something else, right? So you're still searching for that dopamine hit. You're still searching for that feeling. Yeah. So you're like, oh, last time I had this feeling, it was when I had this vodka bottle. I'm about to go get drunk again, right? So, but if you replace it with reading or working out, and then you be like, bro, I don't want to drink because I like doing sit-ups and I like running on the treadmill. So, and that's counterproductive. You think what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with anything. If a woman's sexually, you know, just addicted to sex and loves having sex, and then she sees the value of having one man and a man that cares about her and a man that nurtures her and a man that gives her the right mindset and values her, she'll never go back to being treated like a chewed piece of gum. Why would she do that? You know what I mean? Oh, that's because you done put a crown on her now. Now she sees her queen in her side. Like now she like, oh, she gonna actually be angrier, bro. I done seen it. Yeah. She's gonna be angrier at herself and at the world for y'all treating me like this. Y'all let me go out like this. Yeah. This man done showed me who I am.
And she gonna love and respect.
She gonna nothing but respect for it.
So, like I was saying today, I was speaking about something in that same aspect, right? Mm-hmm. Men control relationships. Women control the access of sex.
Nah, that's all. That's, you know.
I'm saying, who controls the access of sex?
I feel like men do.
Man?
Yeah. I mean, in my relationships, I do. I turn down more pussy than I ever want. Like, I don't. This women that, bro.
I seen it too.
I turn down pussy. So for me, like, I feel like.
You're different though.
I feel like more. To be honest, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. In my experience, women are more predatory than men. In my experience, I can't speak for the average Joe.
Well, I ain't never get preyed on like that before.
Yeah, women be preying on me, bro.
I know, I seen it. One time I seen 3 girls trying to rape you in the car.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But it's the aura, you know what I mean? Once they see you have dick discipline, once they see that you're not out here just giving it out to anybody, you become a prize. Women like what they can't have. They like the chase. That's why in high school, they always like the basketball player or the football player or the most popular guy. Women always flock to those type of situations. So, you know, at the end of the day, if you just maintain that aura and maintain like, hey man, I'm very selective, I'm exclusive, you will have a flock of women trying to knock down the door that you know what I mean, that's in the way of trying to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. You know what? Because I don't really approach women. Most women that I deal with approach me.
Yeah, I like who like me.
Yeah, I love who like me.
Yeah.
And I was saying this too, right? I believe, you know, Max and you, Picasso, I believe if a girl want to be in a relationship, she has to put a resume like a job.
Okay, let me see, break it down. Let me hear.
The man is the boss. He's paying the bills. He's making sure good. So,
Right.
you know, when you go to go for a job to get hired, you have a resume, right? You say, these are the things I can do.
These are my qualifications.
These are my qualifications, right? But you want a man to take care of you for life, but you don't want to bring the qualifications. Like, you got to come and say, hey, these are what I can do for you. These are my qualifications I could do. Bring to the table. Because I'm coming to you because you're the boss.
But let me be honest with you, bro. Some of the best, you know, Nike's logo was made by an intern. You know what I'm saying? So some of the best employees you ever gonna find is people that don't know their qualifications. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I'm telling you, a girl out there who wants to be in a relationship.
Right, that's what I'm
So
saying. She might not know her qualifications, but as a boss, that's your job to sit her down and find out her qualifications and find out if she matches what you're trying to do.
But there's men and girls who want to be in a relationship.
Right.
And they can't be in a relationship.
They can't be in a relationship.
Because the guy is the one who has to say, let's be in a relationship.
Well, it has to be. It should be. If you in that type of world, it should be mutual. It should be like they both should be winning.
It should be, but it's always seemed like girls be like, I have options, but none of the options want you.
Right.
So you don't want none of the options.
Right.
All your options, but you don't want any of those options.
Right.
They're just options. They're just trying to fuck.
Right.
You know what I mean? Men, today, any given day today, I could just call one of the girls out. I'm like, hey, I want you to be mine, and she's gonna be mine.
Yeah.
In a relationship.
Yeah.
Do most women have that option to be like, hey, let's stop. Let's be in a relationship today. The
Right.
guy, he might be like, I ain't trying to.
Yeah. Nah, it depends. Nah. 9 times out of 10, no. And if they are in a relationship, it's because, you know, the guy just felt he kind of like not the guy they want. You know what I mean? The guy, he's kind of a simp, and he kind of is like, all right, I'll just do it. You know, kind of a situation. But it's hard, man, with that, with relationships, man. It's really hard because it has to be a mutual respect, I believe. You know.
Hell yeah. But like, you know, you got all this going on. You're in Vegas. You know, you're getting the money, the jewels, the girls. You know what I mean? You have it in your way. How do you stay productive and all that?
Man, you gotta stay productive, man. You gotta have I feel like I always go by the ritual, man. You gotta have some type of morning ritual, man. You know, like you see Ashton Hall on Instagram, he blowing up for his morning routine, but you know, everybody joking about it and they making memes about it and everything, but I feel like it's going over everybody's head, man. You know, you really should have a 3 a.m., 4 a.m. wake up. Like I wake up, I pray, I drink lemon tea. I just get my mind right to be productive, you know, and be disciplined. And I have something that no matter how chaotic the world gets, I have something I could always rely on every day. You know what I'm saying? That keeps me focused, that keeps me, you know, driven on what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, once again, like you talked about earlier, you got to identify the man you're trying to be. And attack it every day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, I got lucky with the art and sold millions of dollars worth of art, you know, so it was but after I stopped painting and I kind of fell back from painting, I was just like, okay, who am I now? If I'm not Falcon Picasso the painter, who am I? You know what I mean? Yeah. So I had to figure out a morning ritual to become just grounded with myself and who I am, you know? And I just love it, man. And I feel like that's the only thing that keeps me productive. And I really believe like too much of a good thing is bad for you. You know what I mean? Especially that's why I love Vegas. Everybody like, how you live in Vegas? I'm like, because I get to see all the people's downfalls every day and avoid it. Gambling, drinking, drugs, partying. I avoid all that shit. It's right in my face.
You see the worst.
Yeah, I see every day. Yeah. It's every day, and I just avoid it.
Yeah.
And it's like literally all I do is avoid it, and I'm rich.
Yeah.
It's simple, but when you, just like we talked about, like the guys who up front and say, hey, queen, this is what I got going on. I got 3 girlfriends, and you get avoided, right? But the guys that's like, oh no, I'm the only man, they hide, right? And I look at other cities like those guys. Yeah. You know, the Houstons, the Miamis, these cities, they hide. They act like they not party cities and all this shit going on and drugs and affluent. But there's really a lot going on in these cities. Yeah. You know, and people go to these cities and get caught up. LA, they get caught up. At least in Vegas, is right in your face.
Yep.
As soon as you get off the plane, they tell you exactly what the city is about. Hey, we like to get drunk here, we gamble, we take your money, this prostitution, like it's just
Everywhere.
It's
Ain't
all
no
out.
hiding.
And you have the opportunity to make a choice. Say, hey, I'm a indulge or I'm gonna just not deal with it. And I made a choice not to deal with it. I just stay out of my way. And it's everybody asks me, oh, every time I'm driving one of my cars, I'll get a kid or somebody stop me. Hey man, what do you do? And I always tell them, man, it's not what I do, it's what I don't do. I'm able to have this car because I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I don't party, I be in the house, I wake up at 4 a.m. I'm on my shit every day. I might not make $1 for the day, but I'm still productive, and productivity is worth value.
Yeah.
And once people start understanding productivity is value, one foot in front of each other, you do that long enough, you'll walk across the world.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like one step at a time.
That's a great way to look at it, man. And now, like you said, the whole world likes to hide, right? I'm such a transparent person. People all the time, Chef, why you post this? Why you post that? And I'm probably the most modest and chill person. I just be posting what is in front of me.
Right.
And the real demons are the people don't be posting.
Right.
Like I'm talking about, they live a world, and they would say, Chef, why you hang out with these type of people? And I had to look at it, man. It's like I can still converse with certain people because I really came from the slums and not having nothing. And I grew up, but I could still relate, have conversations,
100%.
and we understand each other. But I'm like, oh, you hang with these guys? No, I'm not. I'm having a drink. I seen these guys at the bar having a drink with them. I'm talking to men. I ain't talking to gang members.
Right.
They say, oh, these drugs. I'm talking to
Right.
But
Right.
then they'll say, hey man, this guys with suits all the time. They go in the hood afterwards, but they don't let nobody know. But that's the difference.
Right.
I'm letting it be known that I made it corporate, and I'm corporate, and I wear the chains, I wear the see-through shirts, I do what I want to do, but I mean,
You definitely got to see through
yeah,
shirt.
I got a see-through shirt on, you know what I mean? But I do what I want to do because I learned the system already. But like people know who I am before I walk in the room,
Right.
Like before, I played the game, I wore the uniform,
Right.
and now I worked hard.
But like I always say, I tell everybody, when everybody asks me about Chef, I say, man, Chef, he don't even realize it, but he's a genius in marketing. Chef can see something and figure out how to duplicate it. Like you're really good at that. And you don't have a delay. You don't have a buffering time where most people will see something like, oh, they're doing something. Let me see if I could do that. And they'll take a couple days and try to figure it. Chef will see it on Tuesday morning. By Tuesday afternoon, he'll be posting something the same, like he'll figure it out. He's good at marketing. And that's what I'm saying. Like you being able to, and that's a testament to who you are too and your personality. You being able to go and be around rappers and be around corporate people and be around gangsters and be around, that's just being able to adapt. That's just showing that you a chameleon. You can go in any room and still be yourself though. And that's what I like, because I see Chef, he go in these rooms, he be around nothing but gangbangers and gangsters and still be goofy, joking. He stay himself, he don't change up. You know what I'm saying?
It's a fact. And it's crazy because you can be great at a lot of stuff, but you can't be great at everything.
Facts.
Well, you can work on the things you're not great at.
Right.
I started working out again. I used to be a gym junkie. Like if you see my past videos and photos, I used to be up 7 miles a day, do push-ups, sit up. Like I was there.
Yeah.
For like last 4 or 5 years, I stopped, slowed down, and I kind of been at it cool. One of the biggest things I've been at cool because I'm still getting females. I'm having my way more than before. Nothing's been stopping me. I'm still hustling. I'm still working.
Right.
I'm gaining weight, but it ain't do nothing for me.
Right. It didn't stop nothing.
It ain't stop nothing.
Right.
But I'll tell you, it was like we was in Houston, man. You probably remember. I had a shorty next to me, and you talking, we all joking, and we said something about being fit or working out. You said something about me and to shorty, and there was a laugh, but then she looked at my stomach, and then looked.
I said something.
You said something, right?
Right.
At the table about working out,
right,
and being fit. Always like, oh, Chef ain't fit enough for you to. Or he said you made like a joke,
right,
but not talking down on me.
Okay, because
you wasn't talking down on me.
Okay.
Or you made like a little joke about workout and fit, and
right.
I'm like, and she kind of like smiled and laughed, and she kind of looked at my stomach for a little bit, and then looked up, but I seen her face.
Right.
I'm like, damn, nigga, all right, let me tighten this up. I was like, you know what? If I get back right, I'm unstoppable.
It's over. Flawless.
I said if I get back right, if I get back how I used to be, work out, but I never had a real reason. That's one of the biggest things. I didn't have a real reason to go back. They were like, "Yo, Chef, go back in the gym." I'm like, why? I'm winning.
Right.
The females got me. Like I'm hustling. I'm doing good. Like
right.
I have to have a reason to do something.
But like I always tell you, man, the reason got to be within you as far as like who you want to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
so that's why I was like, you know what? I get a routine. So some of my long-term goals or short term, I think I want to sit back down. I want to go to college, go back to college. I want to get my doctorate. I got my master's already.
Dope.
So I want to get my doctorates. And it's crazy. I want to get my doctorate
What's
just
that,
for
2 years?
flex. Like 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
I got the stupidest reason why I want to get my doctorate.
Just for flex, yeah.
Dr. Chef.
Dr. Chef. Chef 4RD.
You know what I mean? You ever seen a chef who had a doctorate?
That's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
I said before I'm 50, I'm gonna have my doctorates. Call me Dr. Chef.
That's
you know what I
right.
mean? Like a superhero.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
And then I'm gonna get my health to get back right. Because if I'm having a hard time right now, getting back fit, in 50, I'm gonna be having a harder time. You know what I mean?
So I heard this one quote one time. This is the only reason I even diet or work out. I heard this one quote. He said, you can either have pain in the gym or pain putting on your clothes.
Mm-hmm.
You choose the pain.
Yeah.
And I just, I remember one morning I was putting my underwear on, man. I'm 6'5", so I gotta lift my leg way up to get get my drawers on. And I just, my leg was hurting, my back was all sore. I said, oh yeah, no, we can't have this. This is embarrassing. Like this is me within my own confines in my room, and I'm just like, this is embarrassing. I can't even put my drawers on without pain. Like that's.
You was working out so hard.
No, but this is before I started working out. This is when I was kind of out of shape and just out of the way, and I was gaining weight like crazy. And I was like, oh no, I got to get back stretching. I got to get back walking and moving, And I just remember that quote. So every day when I feel a little lazy, I'm like, man, I'm at least go walk on the treadmill. I'm gonna go do something small. It don't gotta be. I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not one of these fitness influencers, but I'm gonna do something. You know what I mean? Because if I could do something to eliminate the pain from putting clothes on compared to pain of at the gym, I'll take the pain of the gym all day long.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when is your first day in, man? What's going on?
So I ain't I started about last week just doing some in-house reps.
Oh, you did something? Okay.
Yeah, I started. Then I went to the gym while I was in Arizona. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I ain't tell nobody because one of the things I don't like to lie to myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I tell somebody I'm working, like if I say I'm gonna start this business,
Right.
I'm gonna do it.
Right.
Oh, I didn't do it. There's a reason why I didn't do it.
Right.
So like, if I project it to the world, I have to do it because if not, I'm lying to myself too. And I don't like to be a liar. I want to lie to myself. So right now, I'm just getting back in.
The internet. So in the book Atomic Habits, they talk about accountability partner, right? So for me, I think that'd be a great accountability partner for you is the internet. I think if you start posting that you're working out, the moment you stop, the internet gonna come at you.
All right.
They gonna be like, man, I thought you was working out, Chef. Where is it? Da, 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 da. They gonna, how because you got haters.
Yeah.
They love to hate and throw stuff. So that could be you right, man. Because every time the internet do something to throw a shot at you, you bounce back up.
Oh yeah.
So you should use that as an accountability partner. Like, man, I told the world I'm gonna do 30 straight days of this, And if you posting every day one of boom, 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 and you post even just on your story. Guarantee you miss a day. I guarantee somebody, one of your haters, one of them trolls, gonna be like, "Oh, he ain't working out. What happened?" Blah, blah, blah. And then that's gonna be like, "Oh, I gotta get back on it." You know what I'm saying? Because I think you value, like you said, you pride yourself in finishing what you start.
Yeah.
So I think you should use the internet.
I got to, man. But shit, we talked about a lot of good stuff, man. It's the first time, man. Picasso's a great, productive person. And, we just, we keep going, keep winning.
Gotta keep winning.
Maybe do some more stuff. And what you got coming in the future, man?
Man, you helped me with my book, so I got the book being done. I own Jamba Juice.
Okay.
Yeah. I own eight Jamba Juices out here in Vegas.
8 Jamba Juices.
Yeah.
Can I get a free smoothie?
Come on, man.
Nah, I'm gonna spend money.
Yeah, spend money.
I gotta keep the rate. I know.
Because
I gotta keep the rate going. That's the first thing somebody gonna do. Oh, Jamba Juice. Let me get some free.
Let me get something free.
I don't want nothing free. I just want the red
Every
carpet.
time I tell somebody that, they be like, "Let me get a free." But I'm like, "Damn, why it's gotta be free?" You've been walking in this store before I told you I owned it. You've been spending money, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I own it. Now it's like,
I want some Jamba Juice after this. You know what it is? Where I'm at now, I don't want nothing free. I just want the red carpet.
Right.
If I know you, I want it to be known that I know you.
Right.
I still want to spray bread with you. Oh, nah, come on,
Right.
That's a high for me.
No,
it's like
for
a
sure.
drug. Like
Yeah.
the red carpet treatment is a drug.
Yeah. You got it. I mean, but you got to earn that. You know what I mean?
It's a fact.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So you got 8 Jamba Juice. What else you got to say? Book? You got a book coming out?
Yeah, it's called Call Me Later. The Art of Productivity. Just teaching people how to just mindset checking. You know what I mean? What to do, how to stay productive, how to tell people to call you later. That's the problem. Sometimes, our biggest distractions is our life. You know what I mean? You got friends, you got girlfriends, you got homies like, yo, what's up? We're going out. Blah, blah, blah. Knowing that you're supposed to stay home, knowing you on this, like you said, you done told yourself, I'm not drinking tonight, or I'm not drinking for the next 30 days. But, now your friends and, called you and, you want to go out. So I'm just teaching people how to just be mentally tough.
That's great. That's the hardest thing, man. overcoming your mental self. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But we gonna see that. You know what I mean? See more Picasso in the future, man.
Let's go,
Let's call
man.
it a wrap. All right, Rich Real Life. Get at me.